Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla Shay.
If you don't know already,
Today is gonna be about dressing for my body type. I am a long, slender girl with big boobs. As you can imagine, sometimes it is pretty difficult to figure out how to style things and figure out what to wear. It's always a game of what looks good on my body type. Just because something looks good on someone else doesn't mean it's gonna look good on me. I've slipped up with that several times, but I have eventually learned what flatters my body type the most, and so I'm here to share those tips with you today. So before we get started, I'm gonna ask you to do 3 things for me. The first thing is subscribe. Second thing, subscribe. And the third thing is to subscribe. So go ahead and hit that red button and we can get started. I just want to point out that dressing for body type is not exactly the easiest thing. It really is a trial and error thing. It really does depend on the piece. There's always exceptions to the rule, and it's always good to try something on regardless, because there are a lot of things that I think won't look good on me, and then I try it on, I'm like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. Along with being tall, along with being slim, I have big boobs. I wear a 32G, so I always used to struggle with not making my boobs look too big and then my bottom half too small and disproportionate. So I have some tricks that I use at this point of my life, because I've learned over the years to accentuate certain body parts and just make my body as a whole look more flattering. When I'm wearing bodycons, if the bodycon is not already cinching my waist, I usually wear some sort of belt, especially if it's a plain bodycon. It's very easy for me to just look long and straight and my curves don't get accentuated. It makes me just look like a stick. As I said, it is a bodycon, it's form-fitting. However, I do look slightly straight. My hips aren't really coming out as much and my waist isn't coming in as much as I would like it to, giving it that bottle shape kind of look. So what I do to help with that is just to simply add a belt. So here it is. Not only have I added a cute accessory to my outfit, but with just the use of a belt, I brought in my waist. And because the waist is brought in, the hips also look more pronounced. Just by adding a belt, I've accentuated my shape. I'm also going to show you guys this example when it comes to bodycons that are long. I'm a midi dress fan. However, as a tall, slender woman, it can work against me when my dress is really long in bodycon, because it accentuates my height, but then there's nothing to break it up in the middle. And so it just looks like I'm going on and on for days. You can't tell where my hips are. You can't tell where my waist is after the boobs, and it just goes whoop. Like I said, another form-fitting dress. It's really not bad in terms of pronouncing shape, but it could be better. I'm gonna put on a belt. Again, added a cute accessory, so I've jazzed this look up a little bit, but I've also added that feature that will pronounce my waist, like the smallness of my waist, and also bring out the hips. So the next point that I wanna make is that as a tall girl, I have to be very careful with things that drape my body. I am a fan of drapey dresses. I like how that very casual but bougie looks, but it's still something that I have to try on to see if it looks good. And if it doesn't look that great, then that's when I have to add a belt. This is an example of one of the dresses that I have. It's very loose. I've worn it before and it looked good, but when it comes to actually like pronouncing my form and my shape, then adding the belt is definitely better. Like I said, it's just very loose. This is the style of it. It's not that it's too big for me, but it looks better when you're like thicker and you have more curves and stuff. But for me, who's slender and tall, it can easily just make me look like a straight and narrow line. So like I said, the whole belt situation is going to be very helpful. So I've brought in the waist, and this honestly looks more flattering in my opinion than when it was just straight down. If you have any dresses that come in at the waist, it's usually a little bit more flattering if you have my type of body. There's always exceptions to the rules, so this is not like a definite like you can't wear any drapey things, you can't wear any bodycons without belts. No, I've even worn bodycons without belts that still look good. So I do still wear drapey things without belts or with belts, like this sweater right here, which I got from my Fashion Nova haul. I can wear it without a belt. Usually if I'm going to be wearing something very casual and drapey like this sweater, I'd complement it with a thigh-high boot just to bring in the femininity. A thigh-high boot, when it's slender and when it's form-fitting, it fits the shape of your leg, and it also just brings that like sexier look. And I usually do this style with like oversized t-shirts and oversized tops, where I would balance it with the thigh-high boots just to show off my length, and to also balance the fact that you can't really see my shape here, but then there goes the femininity in the leg. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. It's a balance. Something else that I use to flatter my body type is wearing peplum. Peplum is actually flattering for a lot of body types. There's something about peplum bringing in the middle and coming out that is just very flattering on a woman's body. And to top it off, the fact that the material comes out just brings more dimension to your outfit, and so you're not just like one straight line. As you can see, it's really bringing in the waist, and then it's coming out. It's almost like, you know how back then when they used to wear dresses and corsets at the top and then the dress would come out, and so it makes it look very feminine, but it also like really brings in the waist so you can still see some of that shape. That's the same effect that peplum has, and it's really flattering for someone who's tall and slender like me. Another way that I dress my body type is to try to wear high-waisted pants and jeans. When you bring something up past the hips onto the waist, you're accentuating the hips. And this is no shade to anyone who wears low-rise jeans, but when you wear low-rise jeans, it stops like, you know, here. And so what it does is it kind of cuts off your hips, and it doesn't show the fullness of your hips, and it makes it look a little bit less feminine compared to high-waisted pants and jeans that fully encompass the whole hip, and then it comes in at the waist, and so it looks much more flattering, especially for someone who is of my body type. And it, you know, it makes the cake look a little better. This is an example of some low-rise jeans that I have. These jeans just kind of stop at my hip, and it doesn't come up, so you can't really even see like the rest of my hip. As a matter of fact, wearing low-cut jeans accentuates my torso, and so it makes me look a little bit less on the feminine side. It doesn't bring out the feminineness. These are some high-waisted jeans that I have from Boohoo, and as you can see, it brings that accentuation of the hips, and it also lifts up the booty, okay? It lifts up the booty.
Ah, watch my fannies coming through. Watch it. Make room for Fanny.
There is nothing that can flatter your butt more in pants than some high-waisted ones, okay? Trust me on that. It kind of shortens my torso, which looks more flattering to me because I have a woman's body. Not only do I really like to stick with high-rise pants, but I also really believe that wide leg pants were made for tall girls. Now, if you're a shorter girl and you wear some wide leg pants, it actually gives the illusion that you're taller than you really are, which is cool. But when you're already tall and you wear it, for some reason, it just accentuates your legs so much. Please excuse the fact that you can pretty much see right through these pants. So if you guys can find some wide leg pants, I would say rock them, tall girls. And especially if they're high-waisted, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. It's just gonna drape your legs so beautifully. And while we're on the topic of accentuating legs, something that really flatters a tall girl is a nice high slit. I love a nice high slit if I'm trying to, you know, be a little schmexy, you know, just show off some leg, you know. Got a little leg exposure. Who else can rock high slits better than us? We have the legs for it. You know what you gotta do? You show off that leg, girl. Show off that one leg. So for my next point, I know that y'all are probably really tired of me talking about belts at this point. However, I want to point out that this belt trick that I use is not only for dresses. You can also wear them for blazers. You can wear them for cardigans and sweaters. There's so many things you can wear belts. Belts are so genius. They can literally switch up a whole look. This makes it look more feminine. Again, breaks up my body so it's not just like one long straight line. Brings it in right here. kind of shortens the torso a little bit. To me, it just looks so much chicer. There's also a casual trick that I use. I don't always dress like this. I wear a lot of things like this, plain shirt, cargo pants that I can bring up and pretty much have it like high-waisted. It's flattering for my body type because, as I mentioned, I do have big breastises. Sometimes when I wear tight shirts, and it brings out the depth and the weight and the girth of my boobs. And then I wear like really tight pants. Sometimes it looks like my boobs are overpowering the outfit. But when I wear things like looser cargo men's pants, it brings a balance because it is looser and it almost makes me look a little thicker at the bottoms because it's not form-fitting. So it's a nice balance between the top and the bottom. This is actually how I dress throughout most of the week. Tight shirt to like still be feminine, but I bring out this looser pant to bring some balance between my boobs and my bottom half. I know it's like a weird concept, but trust me guys, I've been living with these boobs for years, so I know the difference. Don't get me wrong though, I still wear like tighter pants and like tighter jeans with a form-fitting shirt. However, a lot of the times my boobs do look like they're overpowering. When I wear something like this, it's just like, okay, there's more of a balance. It's not like so top heavy, I guess I should say. Now that is all I have to show you guys. But before I wrap this video up, I do want to make you aware of some things that I also am a little bit wary about. So drop waist things, I always have to try on because 90% of the time they don't fit me well and it makes me look a little bit less feminine. Like I said, just try them on to see because you never know. Some things may actually surprise you and look great. So there's a drop waist thing that I'm careful about. And then there's also the halter top thing that I'm careful about. When it's like a thick strap halter top or bathing suit or dress, it tends to really bring out my boobs. So guys, that is all. Let me wrap up this video so I can go eat. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. If you're a tall girl, if you're a slender girl, if you're a girl with big boobs, please make yourself known in the comments box. Let's make this a conversation. Let's go ahead and share things that are helpful to each other. If you have any questions, comments, or concern, please feel free to leave it down in the comments box below and I'll get back to you. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, help your girl out, and stay tuned for my next video. Bye guys.